Hello, welcome to part 20, Wolves on the BackBit. We are almost done this entire series, so what are you going to do once I'm gone? You're gonna miss this majesticness, aren't you? I'm going to miss me, and I'm with me all the time. But anyway, lightning in a bottle. Now, I like this name for this episode because, you know, it involves the super CPU, and you've seen me use it plenty of times here, and there's always a little bit of corruption, and it started early on, like from pretty much day one. I noticed this interference that the super CPU introduces. But now, haha, because I've been affecting my BBTs directly now, because, I learned how to do it. I've actually caught some of this interference. Lightning in a bottle. Yeah. So now I have a corrupted BBT file to look at. Interesting stuff, and it plays the same every time. Interesting. What did the Super CPU do? How is it causing that? What can I do to avoid it in the future? There's plenty of questions, more questions than answers. In fact, I don't think I answer anything. So if you're not interested in the Super CPU at all, or don't want to watch the longest episode I've made yet, then, feel free to skip this one too because, boring. But, but no, really, I did trim down a pile of stuff. And what's left is kind of interesting, and it tells a story of annoyance because this super CPU is pissing me off. And it doesn't it doesn't push me over the edge yet, but it will. And you'll see it gets put into the penalty box. And yeah, at the moment, it's not even attached to my computer. Yeah, you screwed up big time. You are this close to getting sold. So, yeah, go look on eBay for it. Maybe it's there right now. Anyway, yes, let's just get to it. Part 20, Lightning in a Bottle. Let's watch.
Okay, I ended up writing a new program to deal with the skippable frames. And it brings in an entire frame, deals with it, writes it back. Well, it doesn't work yet. It's not skipping any frames because I don't have code in place for it. And investigating just reveals that it doesn't work anyway. But what we have here's an old friend. This corruption that I blamed on the super CPU, in fact, is the super CPU's fault. Um, and the interesting bit is this isn't reading it and being corrupted. This was the file. The file has been changed to make this series of interferences every time. Why? Oh, that is a big why. So what I did is I set this one aside under a different name, and I disabled, like with this switch, turned it off, and then you got to reset the machine. But then I loaded another fresh BBT that I'm working on, did the exact same thing, at regular speed. I don't think speed made a difference anyway, but I tried it again with the Super CPU completely disabled and no interference whatsoever. So we have that old mystery that I kind of just thought, I dodged a bullet, something, that I didn't understand was going on and got sort of resolved. Who cares about the times? Yeah, this is still bogus. But yeah, now the super CPU interference problem's like, well, it's not a problem I need to fix, but boy, am I curious now. And I'll show you another little debug program I'm working on. Well, let me just power this down and load it up. So this is it at the moment. I don't really need to go too deep in making this fancy because it's just for me, but if I hold the button down, it's just scooting along the frames here. Specific bit patterns get a solid, like a specific color, period. Now, at a certain point, ooh, and I can go back to, haha, at a certain point, I, have captured that interference. Now, there's about to be a juicy one here that is a big clue, like what is going on. Where are you, you stupid wolf? There was a good one. Yeah, this is a very good one. Now, what do you suppose is going on here, 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 here? It's the same data, right? Now, at this point, what you see here is between 2000 and, 3F, whatever. So I could break out of here, boot up my monitor, and go look at it. But like a piece of a puzzle, what does that look like on this image? It might be part of his eye. Is it part of his eye? No, I'm not sure. I'm not sure where it is or where it's from. But boy, that looks suspiciously like, something out of place. And even here, like this probably could have been slid over perhaps. I don't know. But then why is it down here? Blah, 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 right? So that's one. And one of these frames got, was it that one? No. But one of them was weird because it was actually offset by 2 bytes all around, even like left to right. Whatever's going on, it's completely batty. And the BackBit itself has special root. Oh, there's a good one. Look at this. Okay, I think his mouth just got poof. It's like, how did that happen? Because I'm using the same routine. The saving data to the BackBit to extended memory is a bit tricky, but all you have to do is set the pointer, like a 32-bit pointer of word you want to start writing. That's all you have to do. You feed it up to 254 bytes. Then you feed it a single value of how many bytes you want it to write, cap it with a BB, and then you hit a certain register on the BackBit. So because 254 is a pain in the butt, right? So I did the first 128 bytes of a page, write them, then the last 128, 128 of the page, and write that. And I don't have to queue up the read or the write pointer every time because it automatically advances itself. So you've made it pretty easy, but I'm making it difficult by introducing this, and my curiosity is killing me. Like, why? Because what you got to do when you write, just before you hit the write command, you set the interrupt disable flag. She wants that done because when the interrupts are possible, and I'm doing this from a basic ML hybrid. Interrupts are happening, so I put up the SEI flag, let it do its thing, and then you run the wait for a live routine where you check for BA, like you check for the word BackBit at certain locations, and once it's all there, that means the cartridge is back and you're good to go, and then you can CLI and get back to business. In my normal player, I don't do that because the interrupts aren't hitting, the kernel is gone, it doesn't matter. But in her version here, like she's fiddling, there's another one, she fiddles with the kernel, so you can't have the kernel interrupt possibly, slamming into the middle of BackBit cartridge code. Why is it an only sometimes problem? As you can see, it's a sometimes problem. The always problems are the easier ones to solve. Now you know what I've been working on too. Now you know what I've been working on. Well, pretty much only today and yesterday because I've been sick for a few days. Flu season, and boy, I got it bad, and so did a lot of people at work. Anyways, I could always forget this and just continue on, but I love working with the SuperCPU as well because Jiffy DOS for one, and when I am in a pinch, I can turn on the speed and, sort of count on it. But not if it's going to be making mistakes along the way. And that's going to be critical, a critical thing to tackle if I ever want to depend on the super CPU for helping me with possible future projects, right? I've never gone this far before, so who knows what I'm going to see, but yeah. Oh boy, oh boy. Oh, messes. Hey, have you noticed that all of a sudden there was a lot of messes when things changed, like the background color, perhaps? No, I don't know. Black is the background color, by the way. White is color round 1-1, and I got the two blues mixed up. Light blue is actually the most common, like the 0-1-0-1-0, and the dark blue is the 1-0s. It looks better this way. I tried it the other way. It's a mess. What? Oh. Is that exactly the same pattern? Sure it is. But why? Oh, so curious. And a clue would be like, I'm like, well, this, but then how many lines down, how many things across? So like we take this one with the X. So you're 1, 2, 3. So that's what, 120, 121, 22, 23. I bet you it is 128. Ah, that's a clue. Like in our Sudoku puzzle, just, put 128 down in the what the hell's going on file, and it might help you figure something out. Yeah, anyway, I've gone on long enough here. So interesting and yet so annoying. But I like the fact that I now have an official file that's pooched, so I can, see what it is. Perhaps some of this is actually like SuperCPU ROM or something. Who knows what I'm looking at? I gotta check that stuff out in an assembler or a monitor. Okay, ciao. Well, it's been like, I don't know, maybe an hour. I decided to tweak my debug program, and it should assemble properly now. First time around here. I have not run this yet. Let's see what we get. Now, I can go forward or backward, right? And it should stop at the beginning, good. And if I hit enter, there's the, enter toggles it, but it does not go and show the frame. Isn't that neat though? I gotta make that change. Ooh, good stuff. Actually, that literally took seconds. Look at this. So if I hit enter, or return. This is Commodore land, return. I hate knowing to use the word enter, stupid thing. But, backwards fishies, forwards fishies, backwards again. Okay. So I have my debug colors, or real colors. So what I gotta do, see, now it is Super CPU compatible because I'll flip the switch. Now I can, no messing with me. Interesting. I don't know what I'm going to do with this, but I love the fact that I spent some time and actually wrote it. Neat. And this basically will work with any, video file that I have set up in this specific way. And so far, there's only one, but it works well enough. Oh, yeah. There, look at this. Why, right? Oh, detective. Do I care? Should I care? I want to care. I want to solve this stupid puzzle. Fast. Okay. It's a little after 1 in the morning. I'm not really tired. I'm kind of excited about this, but I just like the fact that, little bit of effort, and it's running from basic. So most of the routines here. Let me show you. I'll turn down the speed here. Well, I have line 20 there in case I just accidentally run this from the get-go. A few sys's, it's all it does. One sets it up and shows the first frame right here, and then we just get a string, and whether it's cursor right, cursor left, or return. That's the only thing it does. And I might as well show you the entire source. See a color. So this is the debug version, or the real one. And here's where the set interrupt disable flag is, and then you request your video location, and you wait for the BackBit cart to return, and then you CLI and leave, which is what I ain't doing in my regular player because there's no kernel, there's no interrupts happening anyway. Well, there is interrupts happening all the time, but ones that I control. And that's the last part. Huh. See, I just basically loaded everything from 2000 and above, and then just go grab it from either my debug or from 4000 and put it into 0400 and D800. So it's a very short program. And here it is in entirety. Okay, well, I've made a few tweaks, very, very minor ones, such as it shows the true color at the beginning. But there's something here, that I just noticed. Now, you'd think I have this video clip basically memorized. I've probably seen it hundreds of times in the past year. It's why I chose something that, versus, say, Baby Shark or something. I wanted something that I could tolerate looking at long enough while I was messing with it. But anyway, check this out. Mr. Wolfie sticks his beak in the water and, well, never mind the interruptions. This frame. I never realized that the fish all take off. I didn't even notice. Have you ever noticed? Because, you've probably been watching lots of these too. And then they're pretty much gone. And, I like how it begins. It looks better, obviously, in the high def blah blah version, but, that's why I started underwater, just because I thought it was neat. Whatever. There's one particular frame. Ooh, look at that. I wonder what happened there. Never mind, I'll tell you about that frame later. Well, I stopped recording because I also had a coughing fit. Oh, here's another one. Remember, I'm still sick. But whatever happened, eh? Oh, neat. Because I wasn't advancing the frame at the time. I just switched the switch. Unidentified statement. Yeah, weird. And then it broke into some sort of monitor itself or something, or I don't know. Maybe that's a listing? Sure it is. Yeah, because you don't B&E to loop something. Very interesting. Let's see, did I wreck my program? I'm still in fast mode here. No, it's still there. Okay, so let's slow it down. List it again. Okay, I have no idea. So if I run it, well, I'm going to turn the switch on before I do that. It is risky to switch on the fly because you are changing a lot of things internally at a moment's notice. I generally avoid doing it while running something because there is a chance that something gets affected. And sure enough, my program is toast. This crash nonsense. This is the BackBit stepping in, helping you out. In my case, it's always confused me. I don't know how to make heads or tails of that. I mean, yeah, there's the flags. I'm supposed to understand this because I'm a programmer, but I don't care. I'd rather just, suffer it through myself. But then again, that's our memory location, cumulative registers, stack pointer. I don't know what the rest of that means. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, I wasn't even able to load a monitor. Everything that I did disk-wise led to instant crash. So whatever. Here's one of the two frames. There. And you notice it's out by 2, right? That's why the color's all pooched and the background color's different. It's supposed to be that gray, I'm pretty certain, eh? But Y, and where's the other one? Oh, that one's nasty too. Okay. Where is the bloody thing? It's not this frame, it's this one. Ooh. Right? Now it makes it even harder on the eyes, but like everything gets all chunky. Now, I don't know exactly, but take a close look. Now watch Wolfie and Goat Buddy here. The colors get out of alignment. Not only that, the bitmap itself appears to be out by 2 pixels on every cell, right? That's, accounts for these stupid lines. Something about the number 2. And it looks like everything got shifted back. So the bitmap, if you're missing even 1 byte and you just pull everything snug against each other, then this byte winds up here, and this byte winds up here, and everything becomes a mess. And the colors get tugged over too, because they're basically the next 8 pages past the bitmap. All because of the SuperCPU, which I know, you don't need to use it. Nobody has a damn thing. But why? Ooh, I gotta stop worrying about this, but I want to be able to trust it. If I can figure out what's causing it to do this, I can be careful and enjoy speedy putting things together. Something I wanted to do, I might as well tell you, let's fast forward as we go. Something I wanted to try is start with one of my junk cards, put a file on there, and basically read it, write it back, read it, write it back. But every time it writes back a chunk, it reads it back and verifies with what's in memory on the computer. So I'm forcing it just to go in a circle and dig a deep hole in the memory card until you get some sort of corruption, right? Like that. And then it might be a clue. Or you could just write a series of like ones, like, say 64,000 of them, and then 2s, and then 3s, and check. And anytime something's out of the ordinary, well, that's, but then again, it won't be able to detect off by 2 errors if 2, except for the last, say, 2 bytes of the whole, the whole 64K bank. There's ways to sort of set traps for this, and then just let the SuperCPU power through it and wait until it falls into my trap. But then what do I do when I catch it? All right, back to this old nonsense. For all the work that I'm trying to put into this, see, the little dashes are the only spots that are full cells of 0, right? And I figured out that you need at least 4 or 5 in one page to make it worthwhile to do a slower routine to look for those flags. What I'm saying is, this is a lot of work, and I'm running into trouble saving to the BBT, except when the Super CPU is completely turned off. I really don't know what's going on because, these two are doing stuff at hardware levels I don't understand, right? But I got a feeling that they're fighting over I/O space at some point. And it's only a guess because Evie said, like, you're supposed to check for the BA, like the back bit, those 3 bytes, right? But she said somewhere in the docs that, usually the first one is all you need. Well, what's this quote usually mean, right? Like sometimes, I'm guessing it takes a while internally for the other two to appear. Now, what happens after those two? Does that mean the entire cartridge is totally visible? Maybe not. So what if you had like BA and then BC and then 17, but as soon as the 17's there, you've got this super CPU that's going, and it's ready to just go, okay, here, go, 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 go. And it throws a bunch of data at you. But maybe it takes a while for the rest of it to queue up and be prepared to accept data. So a lot of it could be falling into the abyss, and then only the last few bytes make it through and then tell the BackBit to do something else. And the BackBit goes, you want me to copy 128 bytes, eh? Well, good luck. You only sent me like 3. Well, whatever. I got stuff in the buffer. I'll give you that. It's just a guess. When you're saving stuff in high speed, forget it. When you're saving stuff in low speed, I was still getting interference. Saving probably takes longer, right, than it does to load. So you're more likely to run into problems at even a regular Super CPU speed when you save versus when you load. Okay, let's try to do this calmly here. I put the untarnished BBT back. I have it set up to run through 4 buffers. Super CPU is active, but in slow mode, like as usual, right? As you can see, no real interference, nothing. But so we know that this is good, right? The file itself plays well. But if I flip the switch to fast, well, I'll tell you, well, you'll hear it flick, but then when I do, watch for the black. There, it's fast now. See bits of black occasionally? It's not necessarily black, I guess, but there's a pattern to it. And I turn it off, and we're back to nice, smooth sailing. Getting this thing Super CPU compatible is not important. But then again, getting this to 100% is also not important because it all depends on which card you use. So in the next few days, I'm going to wrap up what I got. I might pursue the color improvement a little. But really, I'm so itching to get it done because, I'm losing my sanity here. But I wonder why I got 95. Let's play this thing for the 800th time and find out. But anyway, yeah, you guys go away, and maybe we're almost done. Oh boy. Anyway, peace. Oh yeah, what was I going to do else?